So today we're going to be comparing the price of a do-it-yourself solar power system and an already built Inergy Apex or a Jackery, and we're going to see which one's cheaper and how long they last for. So the first comparison will be an Inergy Apex versus a do-it-yourself system of the same size battery and same size solar input. But there are lots of options with different components that you can choose that are higher or lower quality. I'm using just the basic ones off of Amazon that are the highest rated, so I think this is a good comparison. So let's go over the Apex. First, you get 1.1 kilowatt hours of power with an NMC chemistry. You get a 1.5 kilowatt inverter. You get a 40 amp MPPT. You do not have to buy tools or wires or connectors or anything. And also it comes with a battery monitor and a USB strip. And the MSRP right now is $1,812, and if you use my coupon code, it's $1,450. Now let's compare that price to if we built it ourselves with off-the-shelf components. So for a do-it-yourself system, we're going to use a 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate drop-in lead acid replacement by Renogy. It's a 100 amp hour, so you're going to get 1.2 kilowatt hours of power. So the Apex, though, is rated for 2,000 charge cycles. This lithium iron phosphate is rated for 3,000 to 5,000 charge cycles. So it will last twice as long, but it will cost $900 for the same usable capacity as the Apex, but it's only off by 0.1 kilowatt hours, so I think that's an acceptable comparison. Next, we're going to use a 1.5 kilowatt inverter, and it's $189. Next, we're going to add in the cost of the fuse block, the copper wire, the circuit breakers, and the tools, and I'm going to add in $150 for this. Next, we need to buy our own battery monitor, so I'm going to use my $38 one from China, and what it is a rebranded one that Relion uses, and it's a high quality shunt, and it tells you how much power is going in and out of the battery. It will tell you the current state of charge. Next, we have a USB strip by Anker, and that's $16. So the cost of this do-it-yourself system will be $1,451. But now we need to compare the cost of solar panels, because with the Inergy Apex, you have to use their solar panels with their EC8 plug connectors. And this can change the price quite a bit, so let's go over it. So if you were to buy 5 glass solar panels from Inergy, it will cost $650. If you were to buy solar panels for your own do-it-yourself system, $80 rich solar panels, which I've tested many times and they're very good, it will only cost $400 for this same amount of panels. And so that means that the Apex Inergy with panels with my coupon code will cost $2,100. And then if you compare the cost with my rich solar panels for a do-it-yourself system, it will cost $1,851. But instead of using the rich solar panels, if you were to use standard off-the-shelf Renogy monocrystalline 100 watt panels, they're the same exact price as the Inergy Apex panels. So if you were to go that route, it would cost $2,101. So it's practically the same price if you were to use Renogy panels with a do-it-yourself system versus an Apex with their panels. So depending on which panels you choose will determine the price of the overall system cost. And personally, I would not spend all that money on the Renogy or Inergy's panels. I would absolutely go with the polycrystalline by Rich Solar or HQST. They are a lot cheaper and they produce a lot of power. And so they're about the same price if you have my coupon code from Inergy. If you do not have my coupon code, it will cost a lot more for the Inergy Apex. And another thing we really need to factor in is this is a lithium iron phosphate battery. That means that our do-it-yourself system will last twice as long. This is a huge cost determinant factor over the long term. Also, the Inergy Apex is rated for 2,000 charge cycles, but I'm pretty sure no one has had it long enough to be able to push it to that limit. We just really don't know if the Inergy Apex can last 2,000 charge cycles, and we really don't know if these drop-in lead acid replacements will last that long at all either. So a very important thing to have with any kind of lithium battery chemistry that claims a long charge cycle life is a really good warranty. And right now, Battleborn has the best warranty, but it costs more than the Renogy lithium iron phosphate and all the other ones. But do you really need a system that will last 2,000 charge cycles? A lot of people that live in vans or RVs, a battery system that will last 2,000 charge cycles will last longer than their vehicle, probably, considering how they use it for solar at their charge and discharge rates. So I don't think this is a big issue. Whether you get the NMC or the lithium iron phosphate, they will both last a really long time. Now what we're going to do is compare the price of using a high quality AGM battery. So let's take our do-it-yourself system and swap out the lithium iron phosphate for a 200 amp hour AGM by VMAX. And at 50% depth of discharge, the data sheet says that we'll get 900 cycles. So that's half as much as the Inergy Apex and like 5 to 10 times less than a do-it-yourself lithium iron phosphate battery. But a lot of people that do not have that initial money to spend on a lithium battery, I understand. So the total cost with a high quality AGM will be $1,051. And that's actually pretty good. It gives us a usable of 1.2 kilowatt hours, and a lot of people could afford that. But you have to build it. So there's the drawback of that. And also energy density wise, the Inergy Apex is like half the weight of a lithium iron phosphate, and it's like, I don't know, 1/5 the weight of an AGM. Like, these lead acids are really, really heavy. So now let's compare it to the price of a dirt cheap AGM. They have these really cheap ones available on Amazon, but if you look up the data sheet, you will find that instead of 900 cycles, like the VMAX is rated for at 50% depth of discharge, you get only 500 cycles at 50% depth of discharge. So a lot of people think that all AGMs are made the same, and that's not true. Typically, what I used to do to compare different batteries over the ages is I would weigh them, because a high quality AGM sealed battery with thick plates will be a lot heavier than the cheap ones that you buy on Amazon. And so a lot of people think they're getting a lot, but in the long run, they're actually spending a lot more money on these cheap AGM batteries. So let's compare the price. Let's say we buy 200 amp hours of cheap AGMs, we get 1.2 kilowatt hours, and that comes out to $336. And a lot of people would say, oh wow, that's so much cheaper than the lithium iron phosphate. But you only get 500 cycles, so yeah, it's actually more expensive to spend less, almost always when it comes to solar. So the overall price of a do-it-yourself system, by swapping out for these cheap ones instead of using lithium iron phosphate, would be $887. So that's a really cheap initial cost, but it's only going to last like 2 years. All of these other systems will last like 5 to 20 years. If you have a lithium iron phosphate and you know how to cycle it, you can get some crazy charge cycle numbers. So I think the two lessons to learn from this price comparison is that even though do-it-yourself is cheaper in the long run, it's really convenient to use an Apex. You don't have to buy the tools, you don't have to buy the wire, you do not have to size any fuses or circuit breakers. Everything's automatic as a BMS system. You don't have to think about anything. You just plug it together and it's done, and you're good to go. And the next lesson is that the solar panel price makes a huge difference in the overall cost of the system. And it's kind of a bummer that you have to use the proprietary panels by Inergy Apex. The reason they're doing it though is because they can't use MC4 connectors, and they had a lot of people putting them in series and burning out their charge controller. What I personally think they should have done is used an MPPT with a higher input voltage rating, so that people could use their own panels and they could bump up the voltage and actually get the benefits of an MPPT, because the voltage limit is like 30 to 35 volts. And so I don't understand why they didn't just make a higher voltage limit and then people can use their own panels. And people could save a lot of money on that. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are going to hook up their own panels to the Apex Energy. But yeah, it will also void the warranty. They told me not to tell my viewers about that yet. I'm going to ask them if I can make an EC8 to MC4 video where you still use their parallel connection system, but you use only MC4 adapters at individual solar panels, or avoid that entirely and crimp them yourself with butt splice connectors. But yeah, we'll see about that in the future when I get my hands on one and when I talk to Inergy Apex to see what they think. Now we're going to do another comparison. We're going to have the Jackery versus a do-it-yourself system. So with the Jackery, you get 240 watt hour battery in MC for $249. This comes with an inverter and USB charger ports, and it even has a battery capacity monitor. So it's a pretty good deal for the price. For a lot of people that just charge a laptop, it's pretty darn cheap. So let's make a do-it-yourself system. So for $69, you can get a 35 amp hour sealed lead acid, and that gives you 210 watt hours, and that was the closest capacity AGM that I could find. And with these cheap AGMs, you only get 500 charge cycles. If you use a VMAX, it costs $100, but we're going to go as cheap as possible here because I understand what my viewers want to see. Usually with these cheaper ones is the cheapest price possible. So with a 20 amp PWM, because the Jackery has a PWM, I've tested that, it costs $15. And then let's take our cheap BMK 200 watt inverter with USB output, and that'll cost $23. And then battery capacity monitor with that low of voltage, it's gonna be $32. And then wires and tools, etc., is $50. So with a cheap AGM, you actually get $189 for the same size as the Jackery. But at this price point, I would not hesitate to buy the Jackery. Okay, the weight of the Jackery over this one is insane, but I know a lot of people want to build a modular system for super cheap, and it can be done. Also, if you already have tools laying around, you can make a do-it-yourself system for practically nothing. I mean, you could even find these batteries on sale. You could find a cheap inverter at Walmart on sale. I mean, you could do all of this for practically pennies. So I understand why people are still doing small do-it-yourself systems, but for me personally, I would probably go with the Jackery. The biggest thing that I absolutely hate about the Jackery, though, is not the charge controller type or all this other stuff. It's the fact that you can only put in 50 watts of solar panel power. Most of the other solar generators on the market for the same size, you can actually add way more panels, like 100 or 120 watts. But for the Jackery, it's 50 watts. And their panel that they sell is like $250 or $300. It's extremely overpriced. You have to use the HQST 50 watt and wire it in yourself. So that's a big pain in the butt. But with all of that said, if I was building a small system, I'd probably still go with the Jackery because it's really nice. It's really strong and lightweight. But God, that limit on the solar panel input just drives me crazy. Like 100 watts would be just fine for that size. Like with our do-it-yourself system, you could hook up like 200, 300 watts of solar, and you'd only spend like maybe $20 on the PWM. You can use some cheap solar panels. I mean, you can make this system so cheap. So at least the option is there for people that are on a budget, but man, the Jackery is super convenient. So what should you actually buy? I kind of like all of these systems. Depending on your budget will determine pretty much which one you should buy. I think you guys should spend more money and get the better system if you can afford it because it will last a very long time. It's also worth it to spend more money to buy brands with better warranties. They typically have better quality components. But for me personally, I'm going with lithium iron phosphate do-it-yourself, but I know how to build these systems. I should also stress that there is not a single solar generator on the market that makes me personally happy. Like for example, the Inergy Apex and Goal Zero, their max solar input voltage is like 30 volts. It should be like 100 to 150 volts. Alright, also the battery chemistries that they're using, they're lightweight, but I would much rather have a lithium iron phosphate so that it can actually last a really long time and it will be non-combustible. There is a small chance that if you physically damage one of the NMC ones like a Goal Zero, your laptop, the Inergy Apex, that it can combust. But if you have a lithium iron phosphate, it is completely non-combustible. So for peace of mind and for me personally, I have not found a single solar generator that makes me happy. I should also stress though that the Inergy Apex is more designed for disaster relief. And for people that are going to store them in their garage for months on end and only use them in the case of a disaster. If you're using it every single day, they will be actually developing some new systems in the next year or so. I don't know how long it will take them. With the Inergy Apex, they told me like a year and a half ago that they were going to have it by like February of last year, and I haven't heard anything from them, and now they finally have it developed, and they have new people working there, so I really don't know how long it's going to take for Inergy to make these new systems. They say that one of them will have a high efficiency inverter, and that was actually posted on quite a few renewable energy blogs that I follow online, long before Inergy even told me about it. I saw it on the blogs announcing this technology with one of their partners, saying that they're going to put it in one of Inergy's units. But yeah, like I said, I don't know how long that will take. Also, they said that they're going to make a model with a higher voltage input for people that want a permanent installation. But again, I don't know how long that will take. Who knows? But I do see the need in the market for people with like 200 watts of solar panels on the roof of a van or an RV. The Apex or even a Goal Zero will accomplish that really nicely. I mean, they're great. Most people, that's all you need. If all you're doing is a laptop, you're fine. But there's also people that are just powering a laptop that could get by with my $300 DIY with a sealed lead acid. There are very, very cheap options that you guys have to choose from in the do-it-yourself category. So it really depends on how much money you want to spend. Also, the Goal Zero, if you compare the price brand new, it's just way more than all of these. And also, I can't even see the Goal Zero as an option because of the solar panel input. It's 360 watts for these huge units that are like 1400 watt hours. Like, I don't understand who's using those and what they're charging with. And because they use 360 watts, because most of their panels are in 60 watt increments, you have to use their panels. And if you use normal ones, you're only limited to 300 watts, even for like their 3000 watt hour unit. So I don't even see Goal Zero as an option at all. It's like really pathetic, but I know a lot of people can get them through Costco for cheap, and at that point with an MPPT module you might have yourself a really good deal, and the output is great on the Goal Zero. But yeah, on this kind of price comparison, the Goal Zero would be way more expensive than all of these options. But it's still technically an option, so please check out my other video where I go into depth between, you know, the Inergy solar generators versus a Goal Zero. There are lots and lots of pros and cons to mention. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video useful, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.